Oh, do I have a question? You ready for this one?
I don't know. The last one did me in. Go ahead.
Dear Rabbi and Aleza, how does someone know when they're ready to start dating and when they're ready to get married? Is anyone ever ready?
Oh, yeah. And if you're asking that question, you're not. That's the baseline. There's a lot of people that they've been waiting for years upon years. They've read every book. They've listened to every podcast. They've read every article. They're so invested. They've gone to counseling and group work and individual, and they're ready. Do you have to do all of that to get ready? No, I don't know.
Some people do.
Some people do. I don't know your background, but you need to have had either happy, healthy relationship influences within your environment, whether it's your own family, a family member, a community member, somebody where you've seen an example of a happy, healthy relationship, or you have to go out and find one if you don't have that. And that takes getting ready. And then it takes doing therapy and other things to get yourself balanced.
That's amazing. And I say this as well, that the most important thing you need to have a visual of This is my couple, and I can mimic that relationship.
Right.
Like, that's the kind of relationship I want to have.
Right.
And then you can also, in that, see, like, oh, which one of the couple that I am thinking about am I? Right. Then you may also know what you're looking for.
Right, because if you can see who you are in the couple, you're like, oh, that's the opposite. What's drawn to that style of a person.
Right, like
that's like, ooh, I gotta pause. That is a really, really good dating tip. Really excellent dating tip. If you can find a role model couple, first of all, if you could find a role model couple, that's good. But if you could find a role model couple where one of them is the you in the couple, then you can potentially figure out what you're looking for in the other one of them.
I don't think it has to be exactly you.
No,
for
essence.
For example, like, oh, that's the extrovert and I'm an extrovert.
Right.
So it's interesting that she went for an introvert. I would have wanted to go for, like, the high power person. Right. I want another extrovert.
Power couple.
The power couple.
Right.
But actually, I like that dynamic with the introvert.
Right.
So that,
and then you can interview them.
Yeah.
Why did you choose that? How does that work in your life? How has that worked in the last 5 years, 10 years? Do you like this dynamic? How have you guys shifted over time? You can really get some data and information to inform your decision of what you're going to do moving forward.
I've never seen a couple that was in a happy, healthy relationship that wouldn't be happy to share with someone.
That's true.
Their secret.
Absolutely, that's true. And they almost light up when you ask them, like, like, I have some wisdom to share. I'm in a good place. Thank you for asking. It's true. So you don't have to be shy or afraid or embarrassed to approach somebody. You can just speak freely because they're going to open up to you.
And I think also, if I can add, if you are from a divorced home, which today, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you put it, is the case, or if you grew up in a home with parents with an unhealthy relationship, that's also
unhappy, unhealthy. Yes.
Yes. I think there's 3 things that you need to do, and they're really simple, but they have to be done.
1.
The first thing is you have to ask the question, why did they get divorced? Or why were they unhappy?
Why did they live unhappily?
Why did they live unhappily? Now, who do you ask that to?
Yourself.
Exactly. You don't ask it to them.
Pat me on the back. I got the right answer.
Yes. You ask it to yourself because it's your narrative.
Okay.
You don't need their narrative.
No, it's not about them. It's about your understanding of them.
Your understanding of them, exactly.
Right. Okay.
Number 2 is you have to say, and a lot of kids do this, to say, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. Because it's their story. You are living, it could be that your parents got divorced when you were 9 or 10, or your parents got divorced at a time when you were too young to really understand what was going on.
They might have even said it's your fault. Like, because of the kids and we can't take this anymore. But it's not your fault.
It's never your fault. And you have to just say, if you don't believe it, you take a Post-it and you put it on your mirror and you look at it every single day.
I love
It's not my fault. It's not my fault. And then number 3 is you have to find that couple. You must.
Go into the world, find them.
If you come from, and you can say to your parents that your parents' relationship, that's my ideal relationship, then you have it made. But if you can't say that, you must find your couple.
Right. Go into the world and find your couple, and then you'll be able to mimic what's happening there and go into the world and find your person. I feel like we just went so deep, and you really broke it down so beautifully with the 3 steps. And I love that it's an action plan. I'm very into action plans. If you know, in my book, I've got a whole thing with action plans and what to do. It's very important that you don't just we're talking about some things. That's a nice podcast. Move on with life. It's very important that we take the information and we internalize it, and it goes immediately into action. If I'm thinking it, I need to do it, and I need to do it today. So go out there today.
So
today.
what are they again? 3 things. I said them before. So what are they?
Oh, don't quiz me. I hate these kinds of things. Number 1, give me a clue.
Why? The why? Why did they get
divorced? Ask me, don't ask them, but why? What went wrong in this situation?
My personal narrative.
My narrative of it.
My narrative, why did they get divorced?
Good.
Number 2.
I'm so bad. Can somebody just acknowledge I'm bad at tests like this? In the moment, I'm on it. I'm with it. But if I'm not taking notes,
it's not my fault.
It's not my fault. I'm putting the Post-it on my mirror. It's not my fault. It's not my fault.
And number 3, you know.
Okay, fine, good. Everybody else knows it, or I have to repeat it?
You say it.
Go find that couple. Go find that couple that represents one of them, you, or that healthy couple relationship that you can see, so that you can go mimic a healthy relationship.
And if you're in a healthy relationship, be that couple.
Oh, that's so nice for anybody listening who's in the healthy relationship. So your job is to go out there and find that single
right.
you identify with and do that for them.
Not unsolicited, but you can say,
yes.
You can prompt them. Say,
you could say, I watched this great podcast with this Rabbi and Aleza. And they gave this funny advice. And I mean, I'm not approaching you because I want to, but they said I should.
No, because I know that your parents are divorced. And I know that because I'm your aunt.
Connect, yeah.
I'm your aunt. And
we have
I'm
a really
the healthy
good
relationship. Yeah.
I love it. It's such good. It's like it warms my heart. It's such good advice. That was good advice, Rabbi. Good job.
That was great.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done.